people. Another beautiful day. Yeah. Hope your 5 senses work out this stress good. What? Thursday. July the 7th. Uh-oh. Time flies, don't it? Alright. So, what's on the menu today? Look. You know, PlayStation got their swagger back. PlayStation got their swagger back. PlayStation got their momentum back. Look. Last year, 343 released Halo Infinite, right? It came out December the 8th. But on November the 17th, they dropped the multiplayer first. And, they killed 3 birds with 1 stone, right? They killed Final Fantasy Endwalker, killed the Spider-Man DLC, and killed Battlefield 2024, right? And Microsoft had momentum. So they released Halo Infinite on December the 8th, and they took over the entire, with that strategy that they came up with. They took over the entire November and December. EA was mad, like I told you yesterday. EA was mad at 343 for Halo Infinite. But EA need to blame themselves because they went they went to go challenge the European Union over loot boxes, right? So when they did that, EA lost their momentum. They lost their edge. They lost their way. They lost their tempo, their speed, and their aggressiveness that they used to have. So, because they used to go toe to toe with Call of Duty, speed for speed, stride for stride, tempo for tempo, blow for blow, right? So, when they went to go challenge Europe, they fell off. So, Activision now with Call of Duty has no one to go up against, right? So what Activision did, they dropped Modern Warfare, right? And then they dropped Warzone. So now Activision is sitting in the seat, in the throne of military shooters. Like, what? Come get some. Then they followed it up with Black Ops Cold War and Vanguard, right? In the meantime, 343 was working on Halo Infinite. So once the court situation was over, EA decided to make a Battlefield. And like I told you yesterday, if you look at the video, you could see that the trailer. You could see that things was off. It's not like the Battlefield that EA dropped alongside Titanfall 2, and that was a big mistake by Respawn Entertainment, by dropping Titanfall 2 next to a big AAA game, and they lost some grounds on that. Anyway, so the Battlefield that EA did, you could see in the video, in the trailer, that something was off, something wasn't right, and the Battlefield was rushed. So EA is looking to try to build momentum. Then all of a sudden, Activision dropped another Call of Duty, right? But they weren't affected by what 343 about to do. So 343 now, they decide to drop the multiplayer of Halo Infinite, like on the 17th of November of last year. And what they did was kill 3 birds with 1 stone. That's Battlefield, Final Fantasy Endwalker, and the Spider-Man DLC. So, Microsoft took over in November and December. So the formula, it worked because they dropped the multiplayer of Halo right before Thanksgiving, so people can have something over the Thanksgiving holidays to play. But then they dropped the story mode, the actual game of Halo, on December the 8th. So they took over November, December. And like I told you, Microsoft, they have momentum. So now they're going to use the same formula for Starfield and the co-op for Halo Infinite. So God of War is not bigger. Is not big. God of War is a big game, but it's not bigger than Starfield. God of War is not bigger than Starfield. Starfield was going to take over November, the entire November of this, and November and December of this year. So the strategy was that Microsoft had was they was going to drop the co-op and Forge in August, and then September, October, November, they're going to drop Starfield. But between September and November, there's some games that are coming out, like Gotham Knights, Call of Duty, another Madden game, etc., right? So, Microsoft was going for a kill shot. Microsoft was going for a kill shot with Starfield, because that's their big game, and they were going to take over the entire November and December period, right? But then Bethesda canceled Starfield, and Sony now, they're looking for some momentum because Game Pass is wreaking havoc, and then Microsoft got Starfield coming, but Starfield got canceled. So with Starfield being canceled for 2023 now, PlayStation big game now is God of War. So God of War now slides in and it slides into the slot of where Starfield was gonna be released, and now God of War is taking over November and December. So now PlayStation has momentum now for 2022, and now Microsoft lost momentum because Starfield got delayed till 2023. So right now, PlayStation right now got their swagger back. You know, they're gonna go out in 2022 pretty big because Gotham Knights is coming, and then you got another Call of Duty that's coming, and then there's EA dropping Madden, and there's a couple other games that are being dropped. But in November, Kratos, God of War, takes over November, the entire November and December, while Microsoft, they don't have Starfield to release on November. So Sony right now has momentum, has edge right now when it comes to 2022 November and December. So they got their swagger back, they got their edge back, they got their momentum back now. So 2023 now, 2023 is going to be a big year because a lot of big games are supposed to be coming. And where does Starfield comes out in that picture remains to be seen, because Rocksteady is working on Suicide Squad Killer Justice League, right? Then you have the Spider-Man 2 from Insomniac, right? Then you have you got, I think, Nintendo with Zelda Breath of the Wild 2 supposed to come out next year. So Starfield got a battle on its hand in 2023 against some big games that are coming out. So right now in 2022, PlayStation got their momentum back right now. PlayStation got their swagger back. PlayStation got their edge back. So 2023, man, it's going to be a big year. But, you know, 2022 is a missed opportunity right now for Microsoft, because Starfield is a big game, and that game would have really taken over November, December. All everybody would be talking about is Starfield. But since Starfield got delayed now, God of War slide in. Everybody know what God of War is on PlayStation. Everybody knows it. But God of War is not a big game like our Starfield is. Starfield is bigger, but 2022 right now is a missed opportunity right now for Microsoft. You know, and that would have been huge for Game Pass too. You know, it would have been huge, and it would have been huge for the Xbox One community too. You know, because they would have been able to play Starfield on their Xbox Ones. You know, for the time being until 2023. So, 2023, man, is Microsoft was going for the kill shot. They were going for the kill shot with Starfield based on the strategy that they had set up, because they were going to let Halo Infinite take over August of 2022. But then there's some games in between August and November that are coming out from third party that can fill the gap until Starfield shows up. And then Starfield would have taken over the entire November and December of 2022. But there would have been nothing that Sony could have done. There's nothing that Sony could have done to stop that momentum that Microsoft have. Because God of War, it's a big game, but it's not as big as Starfield, man. And 2022, man, is a miss. Is a huge 2022 is a huge missed opportunity for Microsoft. I mean, yes, Gotham Knights is coming out, and consoles are going to benefit. But far as like an exclusive game coming from Xbox, 2022 is a huge missed opportunity, and you can see it because nothing was gonna get in Starfield. Once Starfield got released, no game. If Starfield would have gotten released this year, no game could have stand in Starfield way. Could have stand in Starfield's way, because that's all everybody would have been talking about. Starfield. And it's a huge miss for Microsoft, man. And you can see it, and it's like, wow. If you look at the strategy that they did from last year with Halo, when they took it over November and December, it was the same strategy they were going to use this year in 2022. You know, and Starfield just came up short this year. You know, so. Does Microsoft have another game that's coming out in the fall as big as Starfield? I don't think so. You know, because most of the games that they're working on right now, like Avowed, for all those studios that they got under the initiative, some of those games might come out next year. You know, alongside Starfield, but where does Starfield get released in that catalog of games that they got coming? Remains to be seen. And then Sony with Insomniac now, they have Spider-Man 2 that they're working on. Does Spider-Man 2 come out in 2023 or 2024? I mean, Nintendo has Zelda Breath of the Wild 2, and that's how far it goes. But between Sony and Microsoft now, Microsoft got a lot of games that they're working on. But how does can Starfield get the momentum back that they once like they would have had it this year? It's going to be a tough task. It's going to be a challenge, and I'm sure there's a lot of Starfield fans that are looking forward to the game. But will it be a huge, like a game release, like it would have been in 2022? I don't think so, because next year in 2023, there are a lot of big games that are coming out, and you know, companies that you don't hear of right now, they're working on games for 2023. So can Microsoft drop Starfield, say, somewhere down in the fall of next year, or you know, for the holidays of next year? Remains to be seen. So right now in 2022, it would have been a huge Starfield coming out this year would have been a huge success for Bethesda. But since you canceled it now, PlayStation is like, oh, we got God of War. God of War will be our big game for 2022. You know, so right now, PlayStation right now got momentum. They got their swagger back. You know, from this little slip up that Bethesda just did. So it's a huge one too, man. When you really look at it, because yes, God of War is big, but that Starfield, that Starfield is a bigger game, man. That Starfield is a big game, and it would have worked if it had got released this year. It would have worked miracles for Microsoft. Okay, but for right now, Sony got their swagger back, and they got a little momentum now to work with because of God of War. Okay, for the fall of 2022. Anyway, let me know your thoughts and opinion on this. I'm going to leave this video for y'all to enjoy. Nice talking to you people again. Chris, still a Star Wars and Star Trek fan. Or Dark Side. Peace. I did lotion on my hands.